as you know, a lot of people these days are getting Teslas. Like a lot. So aside from being your own quality control advisor and inspecting your car for defects, I do have a delivery checklist on Etsy if you guys want to check that out. The big question we all have is Tesla Toyota Tacoma caliper. Can it go all the way with minimal repairs and issues? Now I've had Daddy Chill, AKA my Tesla Model Y, for almost 3 years now and logged in 54,000 miles. I've had my share of issues like a high voltage battery replacement. Yes, the big battery pack that has your miles. Mine got replaced, random camera issues, but most of it has been covered under their 50,000 mile warranty. So pretty much as far as maintenance goes, in 50,000 miles, all I had to get was tires. And that's it. Okay, maybe windshield wiper fluid as well as air filters. I did do a video comparing my gas car maintenance to my Model Y, so check that out. However, we're always told with gas cars, you always have to worry about oil changes and maintenance on the engines and all that stuff. And with electric vehicles, you don't have to worry about that stuff, right? Well, today I have a 5-year-old Model 3 behind me with over 111,000 miles. But before we get into that, let's talk about Tesla's warranty. Tesla has a basic warranty that covers the majority of issues up to 50,000 miles. Recently, you can now purchase an extended warranty for 2 years or 25,000 miles. And depending on your model, it can cost anywhere from $3,500 for the Model X to $1,800 for the Model 3. They also have their drivetrain and high voltage battery warranty for 8 years or 120,000 miles for a Model 3 or Model Y long range and performance. However, if you own a Model 3 rear wheel drive, it's 100,000 miles. And if you own a Model S or Model X, you get a 150,000 mile battery warranty. But after that 50K mark, you're on your own, which makes me wonder, what happens to a Tesla after 50,000 miles? And for this 2018 Tesla Model 3, it's over 111,000 miles. I also wonder how the battery health is in Tesla's secret service menu. So today we're gonna go over all the stuff that went wrong and how much my friend actually spent on maintaining his Tesla. What is up, guys? It's Chris with Everydaychris and welcome to my channel, the #1 place for Tesla, tech, and everyday life. The Model 3 originally came out around 2017. And this Model 3 is a 2018 model. At the time, there weren't that many electric cars to choose from, and the Model 3 Long Range was the cheapest. For his Model 3 Long Range with black interior and 18-inch aero wheels with enhanced autopilot, he paid $56,700. At the time, for that price, you could have gotten a luxurious BMW 5 Series. But was the Model 3 luxurious at the time? As far as looks go, if you live under a bridge and didn't know, Tesla recently updated their Tesla Model 3 completely. And I mean, it looks beautiful. The interior has LED lighting, all new material, a stockless design. It is a beautiful car and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And while the old Model 3 set a new standard for vehicles with the large center 15-inch touchscreen display, as well as minimal buttons, it's a simple yet far from luxurious interior. You get heated seats, and that's about it. Originally, it comes with a gloss black fingerprint magnet and a single piece wooden dashboard, but he wrapped his with carbon fiber so it actually looks sporty and clean. Still has the piano black door buttons, but overall the interior is very minimal and clean. Overall, it's a solid look, but how has it held up over 5 years and 111,000 miles? Surprisingly, not bad. Now, the owner just commutes to and from work every day. He doesn't wash his car daily or weekly, doesn't do anything to the interior, no coating or anything. He cleans it maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I do wonder how the interior would have looked if he went for the white interior, but overall it looks really good. Now, I just drove a 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E, and the interface is pretty basic. I also hated how the interface lagged with random things. And with a 2018 Model 3, you'd think the user interface would be slow and unresponsive with its Intel Atom processor. But no, it's super responsive, fast, quick, as if nothing has changed. This is a 2018 vehicle and it has the same software as the 2023 vehicles and it feels the same. That's crazy. It has snappy response time as well as the latest and greatest updates. And even though he uses it 24/7 every day, He hasn't had any issues with the touchscreen aside from a random sporadic screen freeze, which can easily be fixed with a 2-finger reset. His car, which is 5 years older than mine, has all the technology to do the same exact thing that my new car can do. What's awesome is that even the cameras are still amazing quality and way better than a lot of newer cars out there today. And these cameras work great with Tesla's software and autopilot. But what's even cooler is if you have an older Tesla with full self-driving and the cameras aren't compatible, they'll replace those cameras for free. So honestly, there's no reason to upgrade to new Teslas every year with new features, because those new features get transferred onto the old features through a software update. And these awesome features carry over to the app as well, as they continually change and update and add new features to allow your 5-year-old 111,000 mile Tesla to be controlled in ways that other car manufacturers can only dream of. Now, since he's one of the first to get a Tesla, he's still got that chrome trim though. I'm so glad they went with the black because the chrome is just musty looking. Oof. The exterior looks about the same compared to the newer Model 3s. You got the reflector style headlights. Now they're projectors, which is awesome. Still have the fog lights. And let's check his bumper after 111,000 miles for any rock chips. Luckily for him, he actually installed a paint protection film, so I don't see any real damage here. And it looks beautiful. It looks like he did hit something over here, but it looks like it hit the PPF, so the PPF protected the paint there, which is awesome. So I'm glad he went with a paint protection film, especially with all the commuting that he's doing. He did get rear-ended when he was driving, and it did take a few months for it to get fixed. However, overall, the back looks great. His suspension, no issues, no squeaking. This thing is solid as a rock. He also applied ceramic coating to his paint and it looks good. He washes his car only once a month, but not bad at all. No rust, no issues. Car is actually in amazing condition after 111,000 miles. His door handles work fine. His mirrors fold without any issues. I think now the trunk comes standard and opens automatically, but his was manual until he got it retrofitted. His alignment is normal. The only thing he had to replace was the tires. Overall, his car is maintained really well. Now, one issue I had when driving the older, maybe 2017 Model S loaners from Tesla was the estimated range. It would say I had 20 miles left and I would only drive 5 miles, and then after 5 miles, it said I only had 5 miles left. And that is not a good thing, especially with an electric car. But how does a Tesla Model 3 after 5 years and 111,000 miles hold up as far as range is concerned? My friend's Model 3 in 2018, they estimated the range to be around 310 miles on a full charge. However, in 2019, they updated the range from 310 miles to 325 miles through a software update due to the motor efficiency, which is so cool. Now, on the Tesla screen in the app, it can show you what you'll get at 100% and it's very accurate. However, I will do a battery health test later to see the most accurate range. I do have a separate video on that, so check that out if you're interested on doing that for your car. But according to this, it's giving me 290 miles on a full charge. So from when he first got the car with 325 miles with 100% full charge to now with 290 miles on 100% full charge, it's only about a 10% degradation over 111, almost 112,000 miles, which is really good. I wanted to see how accurate his estimated range was while driving. So from his place to my place, it's about 30 miles, and he started at 215 miles. So technically we'd arrive at my place with 185 miles, right? Well, I drove mostly on the freeway, 75 miles per hour. My temperature was normal, around 70 degrees. And sure enough, when I got to my destination, I was at 181 miles. So only about 4 miles off, which isn't too bad after a 112,000 mile battery pack. Again, this does always change based on the weather, climate, hills, all that fun stuff. And Tesla's energy tab is very accurate. However, I was very surprised to see a 5-year-old battery pack giving an estimated range that's off by only 4 miles. And that is a huge thing with electric cars and something that's very, very important and something I myself was worried about the older my electric car got. All right, guys, so I'm trying to do the battery health test for you to kind of see what the battery health is like after 111,000 miles in the Tesla Model 3. If you've seen my previous video in the Model Y where I did it as well, certain things happen, like the fan turns on and the battery test runs overnight, slowly draining the battery and then charges up to 100% on its own. However, I'm having some serious issues with this car for some reason, and I think I know why. So let me show you guys. Okay, so if you look at his Tesla, it says that their coolant level is low. One thing the Tesla needs to do in order to drain the battery and do the health test, it has to turn on the fans at max speed, allow the battery to kind of die on its own. However, if it doesn't do that, I'm not really sure what happens, because I had it at 15% when I left it around 7 p.m. I checked in the car 5-6 hours later, and it actually had more percentage than when I came back, which means it wasn't even draining the battery overnight at all. And I don't know how long it would have taken if I just would have left the car to do the test on its own. However, I think it needs the coolant levels to be higher in order to do the battery health test, in order for it to kind of turn the fans on max and then drain the battery that way, because otherwise it just doesn't seem to work. And at first I was considering putting my own coolant levels in, because I know exactly what coolant level to get. However, just perusing the forums, because it's a Tesla, it's a battery, that coolant is what cools the battery. It's a closed loop system, which means the second you open it, you introduce air, and you could potentially cause some issues. I probably would try it with my car. However, considering this is not my car, I'm not even going to bother touching it. I just told the owner you have a service alert and you probably want to get that coolant issue checked, because most of the time the reason you have a coolant issue is from something else. Maybe there's a slow leak somewhere or something like that. So that's why, if I had to guess, that's the reason why the battery health test wasn't working, because my coolant levels were too low. I do want to say, if you guys aren't aware, this is very similar to draining your battery as low as possible and then charging it back up and seeing how many miles you have, then taking that 100% mileage and comparing it to how much you had when you first got the car. And we sort of already did that. So in the end, we found out that the Tesla, after 111,000 miles, only had 10% battery degradation, which is really cool. My friend did say that he's going to take it in for service to do the coolant level thing, and then we're going to try the battery health test again. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I'll probably do like a short or something just to see what the battery health is on the secret service menu after 111, probably at that point 112,000 miles. Now, he did a great job of maintaining his battery health. How did he do it? Now, I asked him, and he normally drives this car 90% for home and maybe 10% for road trips. He does charge at home around 80%, but for 1 year he had to commute further, so he did charge up to 90%, and he told me that he really charges to 100%. Like I said, he barely went on any road trip, so maybe 10% of the time he did supercharge. And before we talk about out-of-pocket costs, let's quickly talk about everything he got fixed under warranty. So with this car costing almost $57,000 at the time, there was a $7,500 federal tax credit, which drops the cost of the car under $50,000. As far as service requirements, Tesla doesn't require much on their service page. In his first year, when he first got the car, he had a few minor issues. First off, his front latch was messed up, so they fixed that under warranty. His door seals weren't attached properly and were bubbling, so it got replaced. His right rear door wasn't closing properly, and the door handle wasn't working well either. They fixed and replaced all of these under warranty. One thing not covered under warranty is tire rotations, so it costed him around $98 to rotate the tires in his first year of ownership. 2 years after his purchase, his car died completely, and found out his 12-volt battery died, so replaced that as well for free under warranty. Started having the dreaded charge port door issue, where his charge port door wouldn't open. It was replaced under warranty. Also, at the 2-year mark, he did a 2-year service, which basically is a tire rotation, alignment, AC filter change, and cleaner, because he didn't watch my how to replace and clean the moldy smell from your Tesla video, as well as a brake fluid flush. The tire rotation costed him $78. The alignment check and alignment was around $147. The AC mold smell cleaning, as changing the cabin filters, costed him $138. The brake fluid check and replacement that you don't need to do often due to the one-pedal driving costed him $205, as well as cleaning and lubricating the brake calipers for $68. Now, the 2-year maintenance guidelines have changed, so a lot of this stuff isn't really necessary, and a lot of these stuff you can do yourself, like the cabin air filter changes. Altogether, in his 2nd year of ownership, it costed him around $646 for service. In his 3rd year, he logged in over 64,000 miles, but since he's now officially passed his 50,000 mile warranty mark, let's see what he has had to pay that's not covered under warranty. He had an issue where his rear camera was going black and had to be replaced, which costed him $121. His brake pads also seemed to squeak, and they did a brake pad burnishing, costing him $61. He also had the AC smell fixed as well as changing the cabin filters again, and it cost him $143. And he had a tire rotation, which cost $50. In his third year, the total cost for his issues with his Model 3 was $375. It's funny how the cost of tire rotation seemed to decrease every year. In his fourth year, he had a recall for his ball joints in the suspension that was covered and free. The backup camera they fixed had an issue, so they looked at it again and fixed it for free. Something to keep in mind that a lot of people don't know, if you have an issue fixed by Tesla, say under warranty, and then you go out of warranty and the issue happens again on the same exact problem, go back to Tesla, talk to the service advisor, because most of the time, because they already tried to fix it first and the issue popped up again, they'll still fix it for free under warranty. He also had another recall for his trunk lid that was fixed for free. And he got the AC smelling cabin filter changed again for $150. So in his fourth year, he spent $150. On to year 5, he's now rolling in at over 100,000 miles and only had one issue with his car. For some reason, the window keeps rolling down on its own and staying down. For that to get fixed, not covered under warranty, was $163. I think it's insane that him living in SoCal in 5 years and 111,000 miles of ownership, guess how many times he replaced his wiper blades? 0. That's right, 0 times. But for reference, to replace the left and right wiper blade, it is $50. Throughout his 5 years of ownership, he had to go through tires twice. First time he got it through Tesla and it costed him around $1,400. Second time he went through Costco Michelin tires for around $1,300. And driving conservatively as well as using chill mode and not flooring it does increase the lifespan of the tires. Then that's about it for the physical stuff in 5 years and 111,000 miles. So total service cost for his Model 3 was $98 in the first year, $646 in the second year, and $375 in the third year, $150 in his fourth year. And in his fifth year, he spent $163. And don't forget 2 sets of tires that costed him $2,700. And that gives a grand total of $4,132 in 5 years for services through the dealer. And we all know the saying, going through a dealer is always the most expensive. So overall, that isn't bad at all. However, we also have to discuss charging costs. It depends on how much you charge it at home versus supercharging. And like I said before, he does do about 90% of his charging at home. His total kilowatt hours of energy usage is 28,193. And let's just say he used 90% of that at home. And with Southern California Edison, with the prices constantly changing, summer and winter rates always change. However, let's just say the average kilowatt hour for us in expensive California is 25 cents a kilowatt hour. So at home, he used about 25,373 kilowatt hours. Multiply that by 0.25, which gives us $6,343. This is the most basic. It doesn't account for any external factors. It's very black and white, but that's kind of like the average cost it costed him to charge his car at home. In comparison, a more expensive car on the same price range, a gas car, like a BMW 5 Series, based on this Edmunds 5-year of ownership website, the cost to own a BMW 5 Series is around $38,000, with fuel costing around $15,000 alone. Again, this factors in the average miles a normal Californian drives, which is around 12,000 miles. So in 5 years, that estimate is actually 60,000 miles, not 111,000 miles, which is what this Tesla Model 3 has. And in the future, with his battery health being so good and his battery degradation only at 10%, I can't see him needing to replace his battery pack until maybe like the 200,000 mile mark. And for that cost, it's averaging around $13,000 to replace. And that's a huge question a lot of Tesla owners and potential Tesla owners want to know, is how long does the battery pack actually last? And in this case, at 111,000 miles, it's actually doing really good. And of course, we can't forget about insurance. To insure a Tesla, it is a little bit more expensive based on the cost of the car as well as the parts. And it always varies on the type of insurance you get. Tesla does have their own insurance, which makes it way cheaper. However, for this owner in his 5th year of ownership, to pay for his Model 3 insurance for the year was $1,900. Overall, the total cost of owning a Tesla in 5 years and 111,000 miles is only $10,475, which isn't bad at all. That's including service issues, tires, as well as charging costs. Again, I didn't include insurance because it's so varied based on your age, your driving history, and all that stuff. But overall, that is surprising and super cool. Compare that to all the maintenance issues with owning a BMW 5 Series, with all the maintenance costs, gas, oil changes, as well as gaskets and all that engine stuff. It is insane how much money you save when you own a Tesla, which is why I love Tesla so much. I got Daddy Chill, I got Stormbreaker, and hopefully soon I can get a Cybertruck. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you guys are interested in a Tesla, use my referral link for a sweet discount. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.